How many people are looking at this for the first time this evening? You're a guest. Raise up your hand. I'm not going to bite you. I'm all the way up here. I just need to know who to pick on. No, I'm just kidding you. Okay. Let me, first of all, I want to let you know this is not what I did before. I fell into this project by accident. Prior to this project, my partner, Dr. Lee, and I, we were doing a communication company for approximately 8 years. Some of you were involved in it, okay? I was chairman and CEO of one of the largest marketing companies here in Orange County. So this is not what I did. I fell into this by accident. I went to a meeting in Los Angeles. Some girl asked me to go to the meeting. I did not want to go to the meeting whatsoever. I got stuck, is what happened. I didn't want to go. She's a friend of mine. I went to the meeting just to get rid of her. Honestly. Not to get rid of her. You know what I mean? To get rid of her bugging me. She kept telling me to go to this meeting. And, you know, I don't want to go to a meeting, but she's a friend. You guys know what I mean? And the whole time I was sitting there, I kept thinking, this is one of them Zango things. I kept thinking Zango or Noni Juice or Mona V or, you know, some kind of, I was freaking out, okay? And by the way, I have nothing wrong against those companies. Just in case you're doing it, I have no problem with it. It just wasn't something that I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? You know, from chairman and CEO to water, that's a really far stretch, okay? But the whole time, as a matter of fact, I thought this was some kind of a door-to-door, you know, rinky-dink, illegal, multi-level pyramid, you know, last business you get into before you commit suicide kind of thing. Some of the new people are relating with me. So but what happened was I saw this machine right here. Somebody showed me this machine. They were talking about it. And then somebody told me the price. And I could not believe how much it was. Have you heard how much this thing is? That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I almost fell off my chair when somebody told me how much this was. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. And the reason why was because I thought it was a water filter. Nobody told me all the explanations. You know, it produced water. I was drinking water, so normally I thought it was a water filter. Everybody has one. You have a Culligan or a reverse osmosis or a Brita or something. They certainly aren't that price. So what happened was, you know, it was freaking me out. And then I had some people in the room who I knew that had bought the unit. Arlene bought the unit. Vicky, Sala, I mean, all these people who I've known for 10 to 12 years. So I was just fact-finding. Arlene told me there was something about a gout issue, you know, with her daughter, and Vicky told me something about acid reflux. I don't know any of these things. I come from communication. So when they told me, it was all like passing me by. I just listened because they were friends of mine. But let me tell you what I heard, okay? And you know what? Instead of me showing you, okay, or telling you, documentation always beats conversation. How many people in the room, honestly, since you've been drinking the water, okay, you have gotten tremendous health benefits, and I'm not talking about quenching your thirst. You've gotten tremendous health benefits as a result of just drinking the water. Please raise up your hands. There you go. Documentation beats conversation every time. This is what was happening, you know? And I heard this from all over the place in the room. They weren't trying to sell me. They were just trying to find, you know, I was just fact-finding. Let me tell you this, though. I didn't believe none of the stories. I didn't believe none of them. The whole time I was thinking, God, these are like, they're like brainwashed, like, you know. I've heard of these companies that, you know, they come in and they sing and all that. I go, these people are like, you know, because I didn't believe it. Until, as a matter of fact, I said, you know what? If this water is so good, and if somebody can give me some water, that would be cool, you know, to drink up here. If this water is so good, I said, let me give it to my partner, Dr. Lee. You know, my partner, Dr. Lee, is 77. Dr. Zia, you know Dr. Lee, right? He had all kinds of issues. You can ask him. You should see what the water did for my partner. Unbelievable. And then Al Dorsey, one of my best friends. And you know Al. You should see what it did for my partner, for my good friend Al. He's 63 62 plus years old. And, you know, he has all these ailments that come, you know, after whatever. You should see what the water did for him. Now, let me tell you this. I still didn't believe them at all. I didn't believe him. When Al called me and said, you know, this water is doing something, man. It's really helping me. I said, Al, that's water. How can that happen? It's something the VA hospital is giving you. You know? That's what I thought. Until it happened to my mom. Bingo. When I was behind my mom, and I know the way my mom walks, and I know the way my mom lives, and I know all the stuff she takes. Until it happened with my mom, my aunt, my cousin, my aunt in New York, my aunt in Corona, until the water, I mean, unbelievable results. So that's why I took a look at this. And by the way, let me have some of this water here. That's not why I got involved, okay? That made me take a look at it. I got involved because of the money. Is that okay to say? All right? Because I can tell you, hey, I got involved in this because I love helping people and because people would get... No, that wasn't... No. I got involved because one of my best friends who earned less than $50,000 working for the government in 2006, okay, but he was traveling all around the country and working and so on, right? In his first 8 months in this business, I saw him make like 6 times more in his first 8 months, not knowing what he's doing in a down economy, made that much more than he did in 2000. Multiply your income by 6 times. The ones that are working, okay? But I was in LA one time, I said that, you know, and I had somebody in the back go, well, 6 times 0 is 0. I felt like going there and popping him on the head. The ones that are working, multiply your income, even twice. It'll change everything for you. That's why I got involved in this. Also, as I was hanging around with Bob Gradelli here, his phone kept ringing, and he kept going, oh, yeah, you're welcome, all day long. Oh, you're welcome, I'll get you more water. Yeah, you're welcome, no problem. Yeah, I'll be there in about 3 o'clock. Oh, you're welcome. So obviously, the other person saying thank you. And I told my wife, everybody thanks you, and you make that kind of money? I said, here's all my chips, I'm all in. That's what I'm doing. I already knew at that moment what I was doing next. So that's how I got involved. So I want to show you the whole project very quickly, okay? First of all, this is how the whole thing began. Back in the 50s, they did a research of all of these waters all around the world. And just so you know, when they did this right here, I knew it was a true story right away because of that right there, Lourdes. Every time my mom and my aunt goes to Lourdes, they bring me back a Madonna, and it has water from Lourdes. For reals. It's upstairs. It's on my altar upstairs. Okay? I don't know what to do with it because, you know, I'm sort of, because they go, oh, this is water from Lourdes, you know? So I go, okay, you know, I just leave it there because I'm sort of scared of, I don't know what to do with it. But I know this is a true story. And there's 7, I believe there's 7 different well waters around the world where for thousands of years, thousands of people have been going to these well waters, okay? Well, what happened was they found out, it was discovered that all of the well waters, when they checked them out, all had one thing in common. They all had what they call active hydrogen, right there, which today is known as alkaline water, okay? Well, what happened is this company, a couple of decades later, developed units that produce that water, and even better. And today it's used in over 100 of the best hospitals in Japan. It's used by over 30,000 restaurants, schools, businesses, okay? So that's how this has grown. This is a very, very well-established company, by the way. And, you know, take a look at it. 34-year-old privately held company. They're an original equipment manufacturer. In other words, they do everything themselves, from R&D, manufacturing, sales, service, warranty, financing. They do everything. They don't sub anything out. They are the #1 in their industry. They have a phenomenal rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they have, you know, all kinds of different industry awards and endorsements. As a matter of fact, if you want to see their awards, all you have to do is take a look at the wall. Some of the awards they have are incredible. Now, they have offices Here, their factory is in Osaka, and they have offices throughout the world, including the one they just opened up in Dusseldorf, Germany. And in North America, you can see they're well-rooted, okay? If you go to enagic.com, you're going to see all those awards. So I'll let you do the checking. But I'm going to tell you, some of the entities that are giving them awards, very hard to get awards from, okay? Now, here's what the company does. They make water technology equipment. This is where I went wrong right away, right here. Because I thought it was a water filter when I saw it. Doesn't that look like a water filter to you? Or some kind of fancy espresso machine? Or maybe something Ron Popeil would sell on TV or something? I don't know. But I didn't think this was a medical equipment. Nobody told me. Nobody told me that that unit right there is licensed, sold, and approved as a medical device in Japan. And I just let you know, the government of Japan is a little bit strict on things, and if they license that as a medical device, it's a medical device. Nobody told me that. Nobody told me that this unit right here is endorsed by one of the largest and most prestigious group of doctors in Asia. 4,500 of the top doctors belong to the Japanese Association of Preventative Medicine for Adult Diseases. They have never endorsed a water unit, ever. That's the first water unit they've ever endorsed, okay? It's UL listed, and you're looking at the Mercedes-Benz. Now, when we were investigating this industry, we found all kinds of different units are out there. Competition, right? Healthy. Every one of their competition compared themselves to this unit. Every one we found there compared themselves to this unit right there. That's the Mercedes. Okay? It's the Rolex of the industry. And you know, it's for your body, right? For the new people that are watching this or looking at this, it's for your body. When I bought this unit, it was for me, my daughter, my wife, and then my mom. Now, if it's for you, your daughter, your wife, your mom, what unit do you want? Let me ask you that. Wouldn't you want the best one out there? That's why it's the Mercedes. If I'm buying it for you, then I want half price. You know what I mean? I don't mean that, by the way. But, you know, if somebody said, hey, buy a unit for this guy, hey, where's pick and save? I want the cheapest. Okay? But if it's for me, if it's for my family, what's the best one out there? You're looking at the Mercedes-Benz of the industry. And everybody compares themselves to this one. They always say, oh, we're just like this one, except we're half price. There's no such thing. Okay? They're cheaper because they're cheaper. Right? There's no such thing. Here, this is the reason why the unit works. Look at this. It makes 5. See, nobody told me that if you press this button right here, the water that comes out of this unit, if you have psoriasis or eczema or fungus or athlete's feet, you should see how much it helps. It's incredible because it produces water that kills 99% of bacteria within 30 seconds or so. Nobody told me that the unit makes water that emulsifies this oil better than 409, better than Comet, better than any household cleaner you have in your kitchen. Is that crazy? Or my Culligan didn't do that. Does your water filter do that? My water filter never did that. Nobody told me it makes 5 different types of water. On top of it, it's approved as a medical device by the Japanese Ministry of Health and Welfare. It's sort of equivalent to the FDA of the United States. It's the best unit out there. It lasts about 20 years or so. They're finding out by the units that are out there. Now, let me tell you why the water is helping people. There you go. Those 3 items. Number 1, it's it's got antioxidant properties. The water is microcluster and alkaline. Now, I'll explain each one to you. First, you've heard of the word antioxidant. Everybody touts it. We have doctors in the room. They tell you it's good for you. Okay? See, oxidation right there is what causes this part right here. If you want to slow some of this down, you got to slow this down. And if you don't know what oxidation is, on a day like yesterday, a warmer day, right? Cut an avocado in half, leave it on your kitchen table, go away for half an hour and come back. You'll understand what oxidation is. What will the avocado be? Brown. It'll happen to an apple, but an avocado, unbelievable. That's the process called oxidation. Well, whenever you drink liquids, okay, whenever you ingest something, that's happening inside your body. It's oxidation. That's why doctors always tout antioxidant. Well, this unit, I'm not an engineer, by the way, okay? All I know is this unit, when the water goes through there, it's got some kind of technology that makes it the highest antioxidant that we've been able to find, okay? So the water you're drinking is very, very high in antioxidant. Number two, it's got anti-inflammatory properties. That's why it's helping with gout. I've learned about gout since about a year of reading about it. Yeah, it's about pain, okay? I don't know that much about it, but I had people with, I had some friends that it helped with certain things that are inflammatory, like edema or something. Unbelievable. And it has anti-aging properties. The water actually has the ability to slow down the aging process because it cleans your cells, it helps clean your cells, and as a lot of you know, healthy cells produce healthy cells, okay? Check this out right here. That's our founder, Mr. Oshiro. This is our business advisor for US. Whenever we ask people, how old do you think he is? They always say, what, 45, 50, 55, 60, whatever. How about this guy? 65, 70, 55? See? You know, and by the way, I get to spend time with Mr. Oshiro sometimes. If you're with him, you won't think he's over 50. The skin is just, wow, it's unbelievable. And the energy, he's got more energy than me. How's that possible? Okay? So, and the funny thing about this picture right here, for the new people, they're both identical ages. He's 68, he's 68. Look at that, they're both identical, okay? This guy has so much energy, it's incredible, and look at the difference. And when a friend of mine from back east asked him, how come your appearance and your energy is that way? He said two things, he attributed two things. Number one, keeping stress out, which means he said simplicity. Easy for him to say, obviously, but he also said he's been drinking this water to the tune of 3 to 4 liters for 2 decades. The water has a very high antioxidant, which helps out in, you know, anti-inflammatory and then anti-aging properties that help your body maintain certain things. This is called an oxidation reduction potential chart. This is what we've, look at this. When you put the meter in soda, that's the worst one we found, by the way. Okay, so if you want to grow old fast, this helps out a lot. Okay, drink a lot of soda. You'll get to the finish line first. All right, sports drink, tap water. Some of the bottled water we've been led to believe that's supposed to be good for us. We're finding out it's different. You read the news. I don't have to. Okay, now when you go to the other side of the chart, it's sort of like a golf score. When you go to that side, it becomes negative, see, which means it's got oxidation reduction potential. Vitamin C falls into about negative 50. Green tea. Why do you drink green tea? Antioxidant. Okay? Negative 80 in the neighborhood. Then you have all the berries over here. And then the highest one we found is cod liver oil. Good for you, by the way. If you can drink a pitcher of cod liver oil every day, that's very good for you. You'll probably die at the taste. I don't know. Look at Kangen Water. Kangen Water starts at negative 300 and it goes all the way to negative 700 and sometimes higher. It's the highest antioxidant in a liquid that we've been able to find anyway. Okay? So the next thing it has is microcluster. I didn't know about this either at all. I didn't know there was big water and small water. You know, when I asked Dr. Lee, my partner, I said, Dr. Lee, there's small water? And you know, he's a graduate of MIT with his PhD and whatever the letters he has in his room, right? And he said, yeah, of course there is, like everybody's supposed to know. I didn't know this. This water is microcluster, the water you're drinking. It penetrates you at a cellular level. It has the ability to go throughout your body. It hydrates your brain in 30 seconds or so. It has the ability to touch all the parts of your skin in 10 minutes or so. Why? It penetrates you at a cellular level. The best way to explain this is, let's say you're at a park, baseball park, chain link fence, and I took some baseballs and threw it at the chain link fence trying to get it through, what will happen to every baseball? It'll come back. How about if I took some BBs or marbles? Some of it will go through. That's this water. Let me tell you what happens when people drink it first. You might have experienced it. Some people get lightheaded. They get a head rush. They think they have a headache, some people. No, it just hydrated your brain, that's why. Number two, okay, here's another thing that happens, right? Some of you have drank a glass, and this is a pretty big glass. Some of you have drank 2 glasses. Why aren't you bloated? Drink 2 or 3 glasses of this water. You'll go, where is it? See, if you drink just 1 glass of regular water, you know you'll be bloated. Drink 3 glasses tonight of this, and you'll go, where is it? It's not in your stomach. It's all over the place. I have a friend who's a runner, and he said this is the first water that he's ever been able to drink before running because it's all over. And he's taken something like so many, you know, I don't know runners, but he's running faster, or he's getting home sooner is what it is, okay? I don't know how to explain it, so that's the best way to explain it, all right? You know, you're made out of water, right? You know that. Look at that. Look at your blood is like 90%. Look at your filtering system. So here's the question. What kind of water is filtering this machine right here? What kind of water is filtering all the things that this thing is ingesting? Because the healthier the water and the more you filter it, the better performing body. It's common sense. If you have a car and you change the oil and you keep the oil clean every 3,000 miles, you have a better performing engine. Common sense. If you have an aquarium and you change the water every, a couple weeks, a month, whatever, you have healthier fish, right? Well, better water, you have a healthier body. So again, this is the next thing it does. The third thing it does, boy, this one I really didn't know anything about. I was like probably one of the most ignorant people that started in this business. You know, when I first saw this word right there, alkaline, the first thing I thought of, honestly, was Duracell. I thought they were talking about batteries, because when have you seen the word alkaline? Me, I've only seen it on Duracell. I've seen it on Eveready. I shop at Costco. I bought Kirkland batteries. They say alkaline. So, but just so you know, it's the wrong alkaline, okay? Let me tell you what I've found in 1 year. We've done this through research, through books, through me talking to a lot of doctors, and I want to show you what the majority of the things we found say, okay? Number 1, and I didn't know this, alkaline in your body always equals health, a healthy body. I never knew that. Acid in your body always equals sickness. I never knew that. The books are saying it. Here's another thing we found out, okay? There's a book called Alkalize or Die, Dr. Baruti. He says, all human disease come from one root cause. Right there, acid. I never knew that. Here's another thing I found out. Human disease have a hard time surviving in an alkaline state, because, you know, the body has the ability to not only heal itself, but, you know, be better in fighting things. Also, here's another, we found out so many different things. It's really weird because I never knew this, okay? Here's another thing. When a child's first born, I heard a child that's in here just crying a second ago, okay? When a child's first born, they're mostly here. When a human being gets older and dies, they're over there. That's called a clue, right? You want to stay on this side. Here's another thing we found out. Wow, we were finding out. Here's one that we found out. This one's crazy, because I wanted to know what's the biggest problem in the United States. Well, several decades ago, it used to be heart disease. Until today, it's cancer. Cancer is the #1 issue in the United States for health, okay? Now, whenever they check out cancer patients, not 90%, not 80%. Did you know that cancer patients are loaded, and some of them are overloaded with that acid? I didn't know that. So we said, who's saying this stuff? Here's the report I got back, right here. This is the best one I got. This is a guy by the name of Dr. Otto Warburg. This doctor received the Nobel Prize. If you don't know what Nobel Prize is, it's the highest award a human being can get on the planet Earth for advancing humankind in a particular field, whether it be science, literature. He got it for medicine. He got it for finding the true cause of cancer. And guess what it says in his report? Right there. And guess how he says how to fix it. Can you say that word?
It is through alkaline.
Alkaline. Isn't that weird? And I do meetings at my place, you know, and I have doctors. I know I see some of the doctors that are at my place, and I told them. I mean, I respect their, you know, but, there was different opinions. And I said, well, until you get one of them Nobel things, I'm listening to this guy. This is the highest we could find. I can't go any higher, okay? So here's, see, what it is you all have a normal temperature, right? What is it? 98.6. When it goes to 99, 100, 101, 102, you need to bring it down because the body becomes weaker. You also have a neutral pH balance, 7.365. You definitely want to keep it here, but as we eat the things and we do this, the stress, you start moving here and here. You need to bring it down here, balance. Now, unless you're drinking Kangen water, this alkaline water, or doing some method, or you're like one of my friends who drinks this, you know, that green juice that's alkaline and it's terrible. He drinks it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You won't do that. You know, if you like your food, you won't do that. But unless you're doing that, most of you, if not all of you, are in this area, right here. Some of you are over here. Some of you are on the freeway next to this building. Why? Because we don't, you know, we just put food in mouth and don't care. I don't care what happens to it. It can be there for 5 years. No, you need to continuously flush it out, continuously do that, and this water really helps, okay? Another thing, okay? When you're in alkaline, by the way, your energy is unbelievable, okay? Now, what do you notice about kids? What do they always have? Energy. Haven't you ever said, where does he get his energy from? How come they don't sleep? Those kids run around all day, right? As you age, your energy goes a little bit down. But I'm going to tell you, with the alkaline, with this water, here, documentation beats conversation. How many people in the room, ever since they've been drinking the water, your energy has shot through the roof? Raise up your hand. Bingo. Documentation every time. That's the best way to do it, see? It's like drinking Red Bull. But you know, that doesn't have the Red Bull. I drink like 1 glass in the morning and I'm like, phew, ready to go. I have sometimes I have too much wine at night, right? You drink like, I don't know why, you drink 1 glass and you're like, you feel different the next morning. You don't have that hangover effect. You're ready, I don't know why. I'm not a doctor. I don't know why. All I know is you got to try this water, okay? Now, this is Dr. Shinya. When I first saw this picture, I saw that word and I saw his face and it did not match in my brain. Because world-renowned means I'm supposed to know them, right? If they would have shown Dr. Phil, I would have said, oh, okay, I know him. But he's not world-renowned for his face. Dr. Shinya is world-renowned for his invention. You're looking at the guy that invented a procedure called colonoscopy. Okay? So everybody knows that. And if you don't know what it is, for the young people in the room, don't worry about it. You will be meeting it one day. Everybody here meets his invention. Okay? Because sometimes the people, you know, what is that? I guarantee you one day it's going to sneak up behind you. Okay? So that's a time release joke. Some of you will get it on the way home. Oh! Anyway, this guy is the best in the world. His medical center, people go from all over to see him. Now, he can tell you from one picture, the age, the stress level, your lifestyle, just from one picture of the colon, okay? Now, here's the biggest clue I got. Dr. Shinya prescribes, he's not only a major proponent for the company, he prescribes Kangen Water as part of his treatment regimen to his patients. Is that like the biggest clue or what? And not alkaline water, Kangen water. Because Kangen water can only be derived from that machine, because Kangen is a trademark name of Enagic. It means bring back to origin. Okay? So, I mean, here, look at, and by the way, they've done over 300,000 colonoscopies. Let me show you something here. Okay? And I know this is graphic, but we have to pay attention to this. And this is not the sewer system to this building. Okay? Look at the before and look at the after. Check it out. Look at here. Look at this. This is a female with a problem. Look at the before and the after. This is a 52-year-old male. It's unbelievable. Look at, he has some kind of prostate problem, but look at the before and the after. I saw so many pictures like this where the left side were all different and the right side were all identical. Pink and healthy, pink and healthy, pink and healthy, pink and healthy. This one, 3 months after treatment. Incredible. And you cannot be healthy outside without being healthy inside. Okay? It starts on the inside. So, if anything, like I said, this is educational. But you know what? Everything I'm telling you is all fact. And we got the books to back it up. We have everything. So, here's one. All disease come from the same root cause. Here's another one. You're not sick. You're thirsty. Don't treat thirst with medication. Because you see in the United States, we all treat thirst with medication. We're a pill for every ill country. You know, the pharmaceutical companies just hired another 100,000 sales reps. That's one sales rep for every 10 doctors. Okay? Because they're, you know, pharmacies are the richest companies in United States. You know, you watch Forbes and all of that. When you have a headache, right, you don't think, oh, what caused that? You know, what you think is, where's the Motrin? Where's the Advil? Where's the Tylenol? That's what you think. When you have a backache, what's the first? Dones, etc. When you have a stomachache, Tums, Rolaids, Pepto-Bismol, Pepsid acid, Alka-Seltzer, purple pill, whatever you use. You know? When you have a muscle ache, right, you go get a muscle pill. When you have a butt ache, you'd get a butt pill, you know? I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but there's pills for everything. In Japan, they don't do that. They look for the root cause. They want to find out where the root problem is, okay? And, you know, we've been hearing so much about, we were hearing so much about these technologies in Japan, this, that. We wanted to find out, because the Japanese people had been drinking this water for decades. Some of their kids grew up on it. We wanted to find out who was the longest living nationality on the planet Earth. You want to guess? Japanese. It's put out by United Nations. Japanese women, number 1. Well, Japanese, number 1. United States, number 38. Underneath Cuba, where they shoot people. I don't understand that. You know, it's unbelievable. Number 38. By the way, don't worry about it. I'm from the Philippines. My country wasn't on the chart. I was going, you know, it was like freaking me out, you know. But there's like, I think only 100. They did the first 100, right? And I'll tell you why. It's because of what we eat. You know, I eat acid on top of acid. There's a food in our country called kare kare, right? It's acidic. But I can't eat it without bagong, which is 10 times more acidic. So that's, I don't know. Anyway, so here's another one. Without water, your body goes acidic. It goes into fat storing. Your body's very smart. That's why a lot of people can't lose weight, because your body's way of protecting itself is this right here. If you get rid of that, that comes off. Okay? How many people in the room, honestly, have had some kind of weight loss because of the water? Look at that. Unbelievable. I better stop drinking it. I'm going to disappear. You won't be able to see me if I stand behind that thing. Wow. Anyway, hey, okay. You know what? I want to show you this now. It's the demonstration. And take a look at this, because this one, we had filmed this, you know, last year. It's done by Bob Gradelli, who does one of the best demonstrations. But I want you to take a look at this. It's very quick. And if you can, however, for the new people, 2 things. 1, see a live demo, because watching this live is unbelievable. Number 2, always make sure you bring the water home, okay? Let's take a look at what the water does.